The gunshot shattered the rhythm of the room. I was teaching the child Chopin's Nocturne in E minor when the door burst open. 3 men, black coats, cold eyes. Her father, a district judge, was dead before his body hit the piano. Blood seeped between the keys, turning music into a stain. They pointed a gun at the girl's head. "You saw nothing, old man." I rose slowly. My fingers, once trained to pull triggers and extract secrets, curled in quiet precision. "Gentlemen," I said softly, "I taught interrogation techniques in Siberia for 15 years. Their leader smirked. "So what?" I smiled, a small, clinical gesture. "So I know exactly how much pain a human can endure before begging for death." Then his phone rang. A voice screamed through the receiver. His boss, furious. The color drained from his face. That was the moment the balance shifted. They didn't know it, but they were already dead. The police arrived too late. They found me sitting beside the piano, my student trembling in my arms. The judge's blood had dried on the ivory keys. They questioned me for hours, but I told them little. 3 men, no names, no insignia. They released me at dawn, but something in me didn't release them. The judge had been my friend once, long before retirement, before the piano, before I tried to trade silence for serenity. I'd left the Spetsnaz to forget men like those who had just killed him. Now I remembered everything. Later that day, I discovered what they had come for, a flash drive hidden inside the piano's frame. The judge had trusted me without telling me. Inside were names, officials, businessmen, military men, a corruption network sprawling like rot under Moscow's skin. And at the center of it, General Viktor Mikhailov, my former commanding officer. He'd ordered the hit. A familiar heat rose in me, controlled, focused. Betrayal, I realized, doesn't come from strangers. I began to move like I once did, quietly, methodically. Every night I returned to the piano room, pretending to teach. But I was reconstructing their mistake, note by note. Footprints, tire marks, the scent of imported gun oil. Through old contacts, I traced the hit squad, mercenaries working under Mikhailov's private security front. They thought they'd silenced a judge. They'd forgotten his mentor was trained to silence wars. Still, I stayed patient. I had no army now, no clearance, only intellect and time. The girl's safety came first. I sent her abroad under a new name. Then I turned to the one who mattered most, Mikhailov. He lived in luxury, protected by guards who never looked twice at the piano tuner who serviced his estate. I volunteered, under a false name. The irony made me smile. He once taught me to dismantle bombs. Now I was tuning his grand piano. Each visit I left behind fragments, tiny listening devices hidden in the frame. By the 3rd week, I was listening to every word he said. He spoke often of the judge, never of guilt, only of unfinished business. That phrase sealed his fate. I waited until the night of his private concert. He sat at the same piano I had tuned for weeks, unaware of the wire beneath the keys, the signal that transmitted every sound. As he began to play, I activated the feed. The room filled with diplomats, officers, journalists, and then his voice echoing over hidden speakers. "We took care of the judge. The girls next, if the files resurface." Gasps. Chaos. His guards turned on him instantly, confusion and fear mixing in the air. Mikhailov froze mid-note, hands trembling above the keyboard. I stepped from the crowd, dressed in black, my old insignia glinting faintly beneath my collar. "Hello, Commander," I said. His face collapsed into recognition. "You?" he whispered. "Me." They dragged him outside in handcuffs as the press flashed cameras. His empire crumbled in real time. But I wasn't done. I followed him to the holding cell. The guards let me in. Old favors die hard. He sat there, shaking. "You destroyed everything," he said. "No," I replied. "You did that when you sent men to kill a child in my studio." He looked up at me, eyes pleading. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly." I handed him the same flash drive his men had killed for. "This is what you tried to bury. I'm giving it back to you." He looked confused. Then the small device detonated. Harmlessly, just smoke. Enough to scorch the skin of his palm. Enough to remind him of what fear tastes like. I left him coughing in the dark. The piano sits silent now. I haven't touched it since. The girl writes me letters from Vienna, childish, hopeful, untouched by what she saw. She thinks I'm just an old man who teaches music. I let her believe that. Sometimes I play the same nocturne she learned that night, the one interrupted by death. Every note feels like a confession. And when the final chord fades, I hear my own voice in the silence. "You saw nothing, old man." I smile to myself. They were wrong. I saw everything.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.